For my You're an Expert project, I'm doing how to make flatbread. I love baking, and it didn't take me that long to be something to get good at. I just love to bake a lot. So for flatbread, the first step is we need to oil the pan. So we're just gonna take some olive oil, put it across the pan, and then just kind of smooth it around. So that's pretty good. And then next, I'm using a flatbread mix from a King Arthur flatbread recipe. Open the mix. We're gonna start with about, not all of it, just like half to start. And then we are going to add the yeast packet. And then you're going to add the rest of the mix just around there. And the next thing we need is 1 1/4 cup of hot water. So 1 1/4, so I'm going to use a 1 cup measurement and a 1/4 cup measurement. Thank you. So it's just hot water. Pour it in there. And thank you. The second cup. And we need 3 tablespoons of olive oil. 3 tablespoons. We need 1 tablespoon. 2. 3. Perfect. Okay. Put it here, and have 8 chunks of this, and I'm just gonna like kind of like roll them up a bit into like more like cookie dough roll. There's some extra oil like on the pan, and you just want to like start coating these. If you need some extra, you can just put them in the middle, but you want these just coated in olive oil. Now I have 8 little coated balls of our dough, and I have to let these rise for 30 minutes, so I'll come back once they're done. So I just let my flatbreads rise for 30 minutes, and they definitely grew in size, as you can probably tell. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take it, I'm going to smush them down to like a good size for a flatbread. Maybe a little thinner. And gonna put it on the skillet, and I'm gonna do a 4-minute timer. Wait 1 second, I just need to. I have a 3-minute and 30-second timer going, and halfway through, I'm gonna flip it so that both sides of it get pretty equally cooked. So, and I'm just gonna start by moving these out and just start flattening them while that one's cooking. Some will be bigger than others because some have more dough than other ones because like they're not like perfectly split. Like that one's pretty small. This one's probably a pretty big one. Flatten down with like a flatbread. I can sort of flatten everything. And so for my question that most people or that I have about flatbreads is when I'm making it and I like rolling up the dough, is that stuff that you could see. I wonder like what is the difference between the flatbread dough and pizza dough? So I looked it up, and because like flatbread dough, it lacks the yeast, resulting in a dense, flat, and crispy crust, while pizza dough uses yeast to create a like a lighter and often chewier crust. Okay, so I'm just gonna flip that side. As you can see on this side, looks pretty good. And if you're like wondering like what you can eat this with, you can eat it plain, but I also like to have it in shakshuka sometimes, which is like I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, I like to dip it in shakshuka, and it makes it really good. So I'm going to start pressing down some more of these. So I don't have much room on this side. So there's just a couple more seconds until this one's going to be all done, and I'm going to start the next one. So after this one's done, I have this clean like towel thing out here because I'm going to lay it in here, and then the next step would be to put it in olive oil, and then there's this like seasoning, I don't know what it's called, I'll look in a second, and then you just sprinkle it on top just to add some more flavor to your flatbread. I'm going to look at the seasoning. This is a Zatar herb blend packet. So there's the timer, and this one is done. So I'm just gonna, as you can see, lay it right here. This is what it, can't really see it, but this is what it looks like. This is our first flatbread. And then with all your other ones, you just repeat the steps. So I'm gonna do those ones, and then I'm gonna show you what to do next in the next video. Okay, now that I have finished most of mine, these ones are just on the last couple seconds, but I kept them in this towel so that they all stay warm. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna unwrap this towel and put the flatbreads on this baking sheet over here. Okay, so there's my timer. So I'm gonna turn this off. take these last two and put them on the thing. So in total, this recipe, took, I made 8 flatbreads. So I'm just gonna bring these over here. So for the next step, you need some olive oil, and you also, well, since I did a mix, it came with this seasoning that we're gonna put on top. So there's a spatula. Take some olive oil, and I'm just gonna lightly drizzle it across the flatbreads. Just some little drizzle. I'm gonna take the spatula and sort of like smooth the olive oil off on them. If you put like a little extra on one, you can just like spread it onto the next one. Very simple step. So that they're all olive oil covered. And then I take my little seasoning and a mini spoon, so it's just easier to control. And just sort of just put some seasoning on the flatbread. This is gonna add flavor to your flatbreads. But if you don't want the seasoning, if you want just a flatbread, then that's perfectly fine. You don't have to add the seasoning. It just adds like an extra touch to it. So probably won't use the whole packet unless you're someone who loves a lot of seasoning. Other than that, you probably won't use the whole thing. And I bet you can also make this from scratch. It's probably definitely like harder, more steps. But since like I didn't want to make the video too long, I used this mix that I got. It's a perfectly tender flatbread mix kit. If you ever heard of King Arthur, like the baking company, they have so many good mixes and like recipes and like pre-made like stuff, and they also do sell a bunch of like baking ingredients, and I've used so many of their mixes. It's just so awesome. Okay, so now these are done. They're probably still hot, like warm. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plate them. So I'm gonna grab a plate, probably like a pretty big one, and I'm just going to plate my flatbreads. Actually, I'm probably gonna do the biggest one on the bottom. Just kind of work my way up. Get them all on the plate. You can do 2 stacks probably, because you don't want to make it too tall and have them fall. And I'm gonna leave this one out actually because I'm gonna do a little taste test. So this is the final look of all my flatbreads, and I'm just gonna cut this one to a little piece, or I'm just gonna cut it in like half. And I'm gonna say that for the next time you do a little taste test. So yeah, that's it for this. Okay, so this is my brother George, and we're gonna be tasting them to see if they turned out well. So I'll try some. It's flatbread. So good. Do you like it, George?
Uh-huh.